champions love when you're coming into them, and they get to just pull aggro. And Tahm, in what world is he a somewhat good R5 pick? You have to have really done goofed.
Yeah.
For this to be a situation. DWG are just, they're in heaven right now.
Yeah.
Where they are. And I don't know,
Well,
I don't need to use the other H word to describe from where DRX is invoking their draft, but.
We saw game one, and there were some question marks where we were like, you know, we would have liked the Heimerdinger into Zoe. There was a couple of knife edge matchups that didn't go their way from DRX. This one just looks like a straight up.
It's definitely passable. I think TF can still get Merc Treads, but no one else on the team is really incentivized to get magic resistance, and so Karthus is happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, you're definitely happy.
The viewers are happy. Player of the game standing is not so happy about that.
Yeah. I guess that takes, you know, maybe 10% off your happiness.
Coin Emperor Tahm Kench. It's the best skin.
Yeah.
He knows what's important.
I think you were talking about that last year when
yeah.
When this came out.
Now it's Prestige Edition Teemo.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more coins you need to pick up that one, so I guess you can play Coin Emperor, save up your coins.
Speaking of Teemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Yep.
There's so much unsealed spellbook in the LCK nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody's taking it. Mid and support, specifically. Very common. You see it sometimes top lane. Like a cannon can take it. Something like that.
Well, let's see how everything ends up unfolding. Chovy is going to be auto-attacking the wave a lot. He actually elected to get E rank 1, so just lots of auto-attacks and trying to pressure with that.
It's, you know, obviously good for pressure.
Yeah.
It costs no mana. The level 1 wild card is kind of like, I mean, does a tiny little bit, but
yep.
I like that Emax, or not Emax,
and, okay,
first.
So we have a bit of a mini game.
Okay.
How long does Karthus take to full clear? So if he's really on point, so the general baseline is 305.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks like he's kiting kind of bad, but general baseline is 305. It can be done earlier than 3 minutes, but that takes a little bit of bit of finesse.
Some snack oil, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So he's going for the lower HP route. I think we saw Dardoch in the LCS do the higher HP route where you leash the Raptors endlessly and you let the Talisman keep burning and resetting it over and over, and your HP just goes completely to full. But Canyon, he's here to play.
He's here to clear.
He's here to clear. He is on pace for that finish. And this lets Karthus apply it. Yeah, okay.
Let's just watch Karthus. He's not going to get 305 even.
Oh!
It's going to be close.
He is.
No.
Oh, no, we messed up.
No, 306.
6.
No, that's not 305.
It could have been definitely a little bit faster. He also used
What are we doing here? What is this?
Well, it's going to be a wall of pain into...
Are we pranking? Oh, he might actually get the kill here. Okay, never mind. Definitely going to nearly kill him, though, that's for sure. Bit of trading down on the bottom side, but not much to talk about there, as already Canyon having a nice little start here.
Yeah, and Canyon, I mean, he doesn't get the Scuttle Crab on the left-hand side, and so I'm very surprised. They know that Canyon went up into top lane, and you know that your Renekton's about to TP back in. And Chovy has control in mid lane. I thought Pyosik would have immediately push-kited the Scuttle Crab to the left, consumed that one, and ran into the river and got the other Scuttle Crab.
Ooh, this is going to be close. They're going in with the exhaust on a Deft. He has to flash, but there's the tongue, and there's the shot. That's going to be first blood going over to Ghost. We're no longer role-playing down here in the bottom lane. We are taking names, and we are getting kills onto Deft.
Yeah, and a teleport coming in to deny them the CS. Ghost is going to back up now. We'll see what he ends up getting. And Karthus is going to keep going back on the wave clear. Chovy is going to be pretty important this game. to try to stabilize things, and because it's a cannon minion, not any CS is going to be lost down there in bottom. And, oh, the Wall of Pain to check. Canyon's going to come in here. Pyosik, I mean, look at all of his camps. He's sinning out of his mind right now.
Yeah. He doesn't really need to be here, but he's going to, I suppose, take, what, like 2-3 popcorn chickens away.
I mean, and he's moving up now. He's hoping that Karthus makes a blunder. Oh, Canyon!
Yeah, he's going to have to flash here. We do have the Blast Cone. And
oh!
so, okay, that was a little bit off, but I think that's the reason why Pyosik doesn't follow. He knows the Blast Cone's there, knows he would just get bopped back, doesn't waste it, so he gets that flash win over Canyon.
And so he immediately went for the golems. He's greeting really hard. He could have tried to wait right in the fog of war to the right of Karthus where he is, and then waited for Canyon to come check, and then maybe try to get him on that off chance, but he doesn't even try to account for it. And so, while he's applying pressure to Karthus, it's not doing a whole lot. It's not stunting him because he's not really growing.
Stun here on a Nuguri. Does he have this? He does. He's going to hit into Pyosik and flash away, but here's TF. Going to get that stun down. Pyosik taking a lot of damage, and they don't have enough. Pyosik nearly dies going for the dive. As I don't know about that, Nuguri. You're going to get flashed on and die. Really, that was a bit of a whoopsie.
Yeah, he was trying to get range for Galio's ultimate in order to come up into top lane, but DRX just capitalized. And unfortunately, Requiem not yet available for DAMWON, although they're pushing in all the lanes. Blast Cone over the wall. Olaf.
Lane.
Yeah. Chovy, no Destiny.
He's running, though.
Yeah.
They got a ping onto the dragon. They want to check the dragon. I don't think they know that Canyon's here just yet, but they think he's doing this one as a bit of trading down there. Canyon not going to hit 6 off of those monsters there.
We're going to move back into his right-hand side jungle. He's going to get back to farming. And no, it's not going to be the Merc Treads on Chovy. He wants to keep up the heat, keep up the pressure. He goes Ionian boots for that pressure. Requiem's available.
Oh, God. He is going to flash. And there you go. The flash on in from ShowMaker locks it down. And that's the combo, guys. That's what you're going to be seeing a lot of between the two of them and the three of them, as Canyon from anywhere on the map can just support and get so much value.
This isn't just Twisted Fate dying. It's Twisted Fate dying and losing an entire cannon minion wave, plus all the CS, so his passive, this really stunts him. And when Twisted Fate opens Boots tier 2 and stunts his Rod of Ages, he has a Dark Seal in there as well. This is going to be a very late completion. Normally TF can complete Rod of Ages sometimes as early as 9 minutes because of his passive. We're almost at 8, and he doesn't even have a Catalyst. So this really affects his mid-game team fighting because he's going to be missing a lot of AP, a lot of HP from the item stacks. They're not going to come online. I mean, this means that the threshold on him is just a lot easier, and Canyon is going to start cruising ahead of Olaf the longer that this game goes on.
Well, they're doing 4-man dive. We got TPs coming in, though. BeryL going to give them a little bit of a tongue on the way out. And that will be the end of that dive. So TP comes in. BeryL with the Unsealed Spellbook, making his presence known. They're not going to challenge here on the Rift Herald, though. This will go the way of DRX.
Well, they're going to get the Rift Herald. They're going to have to do something with it. It's already a 600 gold lead. Now, it does cost them 4 members doing this to make this play happen. So some CS, some gold did go into the void. And when that happens, you do have to remember that it did happen. So part of the Herald gold capture is sort of diminished in a way. Meanwhile, down in bot lane, Deft, he does have the call on the Xayah, so that'll eventually be completed. Ghost whipping the snare, but Deft did.
No. Yeah, that was a lot of feathers. Ghost, he's just going to chill there. BeryL, we know him. He loves to walk around, loves to get mobile, giving a little bit of exercise to Sir Thomas Kench. So he's going to be there to help out with that one. The Galio is walking up top side. I think they're expecting another dive here.
Yeah.
And he wants to be here right away as he does not have the ultimate just yet.
Ooh, oh, yeah, Destiny comes out. They see the gargoyle and his gray lady. And this is really good.
Yeah.
Canyon's in mid lane. He's there to pick up all the farm. And
it's not like an Olaf is picking this up. It's a Karthus, you know?
So it's a champion that can actually utilize the gold very well, likes the EXP. And remember, with the way of the jungle changes at level 9, when you hit that faster, you start accelerating even quicker ahead of your opponent. And so the faster that Karthus can get to level 9 is all the more important to cause the respawn on his camps. It's a mechanic that not a lot of people either acknowledge exists or remember. Requiem.
Well, here we go. We're trying to burst down Doran again, and he's just going to die through the ultimate, and Olaf is going to do absolutely nothing. They can easily dive him. That's another kill. Going the way of DAMWON, this time in the hands of Nuguri as a 2-for-0. The best friends forever, Galio and Camille. They line it up and take it down.
And I really love how DAMWON are utilizing their picks right now. Anytime the opponents are overextended, they know they have the excess damage from Karthus' Requiem to take the trades that otherwise would not really work. And they keep utilizing it, all the while just letting Karthus power farm. So it is adding such a bomb inside of the game that DRX can't really account for because it's such a razor's edge to really walk. And you know, this is part of the thing that we were talking about when the patch notes came out. We expected him to see more play, and then Spirit came out with the interview saying that he's a trash champion. It's hilarious in reality.
Did he really say that?
That's, What? Yeah. that was
maybe he didn't want other people to catch on. That's, I think, the 5-head move there, the 4D chess that he was playing, because that is obviously not true.
The hilarious thing I feel is, so Karthus has conditions, right? You can't just blind pick him, you can't R1, R2 him, you can't B1 him.
괜찮아. 나만 갈 수 있어.
Right? Because otherwise, opponents can draft around him.
돼. 해봐. 얘 노플.
He has no flash, he has no flash.
나이스. 얘까지 나 힐 있어요. 가자.
I feel, let's go. I feel. Nice.
야, 나 지렸는데 갈리오 뭐야 나. 야, 빨리 다 먹어. 밀어줄게.
Saying like, Galio's so sick, so good. It's like, what the hell is this? He's learning. It's like, oh, I can play Galio too. Why not? And they're really trying to bully Nuguri up here. They're not giving up on this. We've seen multiple attempted dives. Now we're going to see the Rift Herald dropped here. And they're going to land. Nice little combo. Keria is in the wings. Still trying to find some value with the Rakan. He's only level 6, so for now he's just kind of soaking XP. But here comes the Olaf. This time we don't see ShowMaker nearby, but he's got teleport. Running up the wall. And this team, by the way, guys, is 4 globals. So,
yeah.
like, if you're trying to dive and you're trying to, like, make map plays, good luck. Because they have 4 globals, and they have 3 teleports, and they have an unsealed spellbook for one of the players who doesn't have teleport. So you're never going to win on a map play against DWG's team.
And this is the other thing, is that there's not even really a 1-3-1 for DRX that they can do, and in the team fights, they're having to run into DAMWON, which is just not something that can happen. But on the flip side, DRX's ability to juggle DAMWON coming into them, it just doesn't really exist. And Mountain coming up in 30 seconds, very important for both of these teams to try to get. As far as other itemization can go that we can talk about, Nuguri is going for the Trinity Force.
Here we go again.
Nice
He's going to dodge that one. Does he have the health to survive? There's the double taunt. The flash in from Doran isn't enough, and here comes Galio now, trying to help out with the knockup. Do they have the damage? The slice, but the stun from Nuguri is massive, as finally the Q will come in from the TF. And now ShowMaker's in a bit of trouble. He's going to have to walk into this turret, and he will eventually go down to the Xayah. But it took the teleport to come in from Deft to help out to win that one.
Yeah, and this is going to draw Pyosik down into bottom. And meanwhile, I mean, they are going to get the Mountain Dragon. So it's a pretty big victory for DRX in terms of gold. And you can see Deft up here, he's getting all the solo EXP. There's no teleport that he has to be afraid of. And now he's going to end up getting the first turret of the game for himself. They're funneling the gold into Xayah. She's a very heavy champion. What I mean by heavy is she requires a lot of gold to start to get the ball rolling. Mountain Drake did go over, though, to DAMWON, and so they are 2 dragons away from Soul Point. It was a really good gold card cancel with the Hextech Ultimatum. Dawning Shadow comes in to give the heal. ShowMaker not quite getting the Justice Punch. The new Galio feature of granting the magic resistance shield on ultimate cast actually comes in handy. They managed to kill the Renekton, but Camille can't get line of sight in time via the bush, and then ShowMaker has to just go into the turret, gives the kill over to Deft rather than Chovy, which honestly is a bit unfortunate, all things considered, because stunting Xayah would be definitely a lot better, especially because Deft wouldn't have had an assist, given that he hadn't yet dealt damage. So ShowMaker was really trying to min-max his opportunity. That would have definitely been the play. Infernal Soul is the Drake of the game. DAMWON are down a little bit.
Yeah.
In the gold department, a lot of this is Twisted Fate's passive.
Yeah, he's stacking up the G. He's having fun. He is a pirate after all. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be scary. He's going to be getting a lot of items in this one, but are those items singularly on TF going to turn the tide? Because I would imagine that an Infernal Soul for Camille Karthus is going to be pretty scary as this one comes along. Leandre's
is going to be the first item as well.
Oh,
fortunately, the days of Morello first have they've ended.
He's just subscribed to the Church of LS at this point. Like,
well,
Leandre salesman just earned another Leandre subscriber.
3,100, get yours today. That's exactly what you need to do.
And it does mean that, you know, he's not going to have the same amount of penetration because he also skips, it's not just Morello, you get the penetration from the Oblivion Orb. So he's going to skip that in lieu of going for the Haunting Guys and the Madness passive. So hoping that that will be enough, and he'll probably pick up, I guess, Void Staff eventually, as we do have some magic resist coming out.
The reason that Leandre's is so nice here is because there's so many members on the enemy team that they build HP and they continue to build HP in the later stages of the game. But after this, he has options with his next build. If other members begin to pick up magic resistance, he can go Void Staff as his third item. If they don't, he has options depending on what he wants to do. He can go Rylai's if he wants to provide more utility and coverage for his teammates, as well as make himself a little bit more durable. Or alternatively, he can just go Death Cap and try to power into that.
Or Magi's.
But yeah, with the game state being the way that it is, I think it would make most sense to go for Rylai's if they keep going ahead. If he thinks that there's going to be more of an even fight, then even Zanya's at that point begins to be valuable. But he can just rely on the Sork Pen boots, given that the only person that has MR right now is actually Pyosik.
Yeah, I mean, just Merc Treads on Rakan, but that doesn't really matter. It's not going to make too much of a difference here.
Nuguri with what I think is going to be the Triforce into the Death Stance, and this gives Camille so many more options in the game where she can slow push, pile up waves, or even freeze in the side lanes and then demand that the opponent come to her, whereas the traditional Tiamat into Triforce or the Triforce into Tiamat doesn't grant you those options, and there's not really a whole lot of upside, especially not when you're the champion that's outscaling the opponents and putting the onus on them to do something. So the gold advantage so far in this game, it's remained pretty stationary. This is a massive spike in the game, though, for DAMWON with their item completions, and you can see that even at this dragon fight, Chovy, I mean, his Rod of Ages is barely over halfway complete. Things are definitely going to be pretty weird, but this dragon, if DAMWON picks it up, things are such a nightmare.
Yeah, even the one Infernal Drake. It's going to begin just accelerating this composition more and more. And you can see both teams vying for position now around there. Nuguri has his TP. And I said it before, you can't really play a global game up against DAMWON, but if you get 5 members in the same place, then you're not going to have to make too much of a global play. You can see that Nuguri is going to be waiting until the fight actually begins, as Deft is just nearly going to die right just like that. And there we go. Nearly dies as there's Requiem. See you later. Nothing he can do, and the damage is way too much. Look at the other members too, they're burning so much health as Chovy is going to be able to get that big stopwatch down, but he's going to get locked down by the Hextech Ultimatum. And Doran, he tries, but he cannot at the end. Only Pyosik will survive for now. Stopwatch may be able to save his life, but he's going to wait. The one and the flash actually is going to get him to live, so he's getting a little bit anticlimactic for DAMWON, but they still take a massive win in the team fight.
And now they're going to pick up the Baron for themselves. They'll use this to convert into the Infernal Capture. There's no real way for DRX to do anything about it, even though they're going to try. So...
Okay, well... slow. Yeah. He's going to get slowed, and the smite comes in from the Unsealed Spellbook. Down will go the Olaf, and down will go the Deft. Yeah. Really don't know why they were there. Maybe a little bit tilted trying to force the steal, but 2v5, it's not going to work. I mean, Olaf didn't have Flash or Ragnarok or anything, really, in this game. So Baron into Infernal, and DAMWON might just run away with this one in a 2-0 fashion.
I mean, this is what we predict at the start of the series, right? If you look at the first encounter that they had with one another, DAMWON looked like the better team. This time around, DAMWON find themselves with an absolutely holy draft advantage here. Whereas DRX are the ones with a bit of unholiness on their side. And it's just really hard to imagine a world where they can blunder this kind of a game. They're up almost 4,000 gold.
Take a look at this.
A better scaling draft, and yeah, we take a look. The Lay Waste just doing exactly what it does. It sets Deft up into lethal range. Canyon presses the R key. You can find that on your keyboard as well. And a multi-man Requiem with Leandri's burn ticking, it sets up so well for everyone else to just go in and do their thing. And Pyosik, I mean, he's not able to really do anything this game because, again, all the lanes. And then take a look at this one. He flashes out of the way. Here, Nuguri's gonna... Okay, they cut it, but...
They wanted to save him a little bit there. Pyosik, 1v1, Deft. I don't even know.
Well,
there you have it.
DAMWON are showing us what happens when you select DRX mode any percent. That's what's going on here.
You're really good at speed running, I guess. And yeah, you can see the Matthias was bought here on the side of DAMWON, but it's not for the Karthus yet. It's for the Galio. And we don't even have a Dark Seal for Canyon, who would have had that stacked up. But that's okay. Still just stacking up the items. It looks like, well, he still has multiple options in terms of whatever item he is going to take. Might be Rylai's, might be the Void Staff. Let's see what he does eventually go into. But the world is their oyster now. You can see that the gold lead is like, kind of, you know, it's not that bad. A lot of that, I guarantee you, is the TF. As here's global #1, there's #2. Chovy gonna use his global to try to fight back. In goes Nuguri and just smites him down from the exhaust. That doesn't do enough to save the life of that poor Renekton.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why Chovy is so far away from his turret. Let's see the Q. Boom. Actually, it's gonna be Nuguri.
Yep.
Takes the kill. These fights are just so one-sided now that he's spamming the DragonX and the thumbs up. ShowMaker has no chill in this mid lane right now.
And this is a massacre. I'm not even sure that they can actually upload this to YouTube.
I don't think children should be watching this.
Yeah, this is definitely an age restriction. It's going to be flagged for mature audiences only.
Yeah.
As this is Annihilation. Remember, this is first and second place in the LCK.
Yeah.
and they are tiers above every other team currently in the league. Obviously, Gen G had a pretty nice fight against DRX. And then 4th and 5th place, a bit below the top 3, especially Afrika. T1, it depends which one shows up. As we take a look at the replay, I mean, Doran, he had a hot date. That's why he was running up to the minion wave that was coming into him, so that he could be overextended in the event that he would get collapsed on. And so he ends up going down. Chovy, I mean, he's going up for poke 2 that he must know doesn't really do anything. He's probably tilted at this point.
Yeah. Canyon, though, I wasn't, you know, I think he could have timed that Q a little bit better.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not too impressed, to be quite honest. I think 2-0 and 8's not good enough. Missed that Q. Gave the kill to the Camille. Well, we're in a situation now that Karthus, 3 items, 4-level lead, by the way. Olaf, remember Olaf, B2, Renekton, B3. I mean, yes, the game was played out well by DAMWON here in game number 2, but the draft was just utter domination. I mean, it wasn't even close, really. DAMWON were essentially given pretty much every piece of the puzzle that they wanted here, and there wasn't much that DRX were doing to draft against it either. So I think in a couple of games in a row, DAMWON beat them in draft and also just played straight up better than them in the game.
It's really scary. All 4 of the top teams. So you really have to put an asterisk next to T1, because when T1 has a good draft, things get really interesting and scary. It's just that they tend to not have one about 80% of the time. So when any of the top teams have a very big draft edge, it always almost ends up in complete annihilation. Like, their opponents get incinerated. And this is going to be the last hurrah.
Canyon is taking a lot of damage as he's tanking up the Dragon. Nuguri just going to come in and pop on a Doran. There's one lane waste. How about Global from the side of Senna? The steal will not happen. That will be the Infernal Soul go in the way of DAMWON, and already 2 of them are dead. Requiem comes in, thankfully.
Oh, the Andres?
2 of them had it. In terms of the stopwatch, Doran will survive for now.
Faulty.
Yeah.
Faulty, yeah. I didn't sell that one,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Goblin Engineering.
Yeah.
They're just going to not even bother with the Renekton. They don't care about him. They don't respect him. 27 minutes, DAMWON crushed DRX in game 2. This was not a close series, guys. We had rank 1 against rank 2, and DAMWON are not scared to show it off. They say, I don't care about my KDA. Let's BM the enemy team. GG. 27.5 minutes. Absolute